Hi everyone, these are the important questions. Do I need to go for chemotherapy? How many sessions of chemotherapy do I need? What about immunotherapy? What about surgery? What about CT scans? Well, join us on our Simply Healed program every Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Singapore, Hong Kong, and Philippine time. Our sessions are interactive, featuring a live Q&A with experts and doctors who will answer your questions in real time. You can type in your questions and get immediate, personalized responses. This is your chance to take control of your health. So take advantage of this informative and supportive experience. Visit our Facebook page and message us on Messenger to find out more. See you there this Thursday.
One reason why I recommended initially PPARs is because it can induce lung cancer cell death. No? The main reason why I tried PPARs liquid, and it did well for the patient. No? It helped with the tumors. The enlarged abdominopelvic lymph nodes were not detected. This was gone. So that was something that I was actually quite surprised. A 12-centimeter tumor disappearing.
Everybody turn to your neighbor and say, do more. Right? Don't just think there is no one product that will cure you of cancer. Okay, that is like it's like a scammer trying to sell you something. All right, it is a comprehensive approach. When you need surgery, do the surgery, but prepare for the surgery so that you recover well, right? And then if you need to do chemotherapy, radiation therapy, do it. So this is where PPARs really comes in. It's a gene activator, so it's a signaling pathway. It switches on your pathways, your systems. Then the other nourishment that you take will be properly used. Is it easy to understand now?
Now let's not keep you waiting. We are now officially opening the AMA or Ask Me Anything portion.
So she has to take maybe just the capsule or the powder just to regulate blood sugar. And then undergo the surgery, and after the surgery, to aid in wound healing also and for recovery, she can continue the capsule.
I can safely say this, all LJ products are great. But if you have acute illnesses like cancer, then we are a world of a difference. Because if you want chlorella, take chlorella. Diba? If you want spirulina, take spirulina. When you take SimplyNature PPARs, you're taking our microalgae for its PPAR agonist.
We are always with you from start to healing!
Yung sister ko had the symptoms of diabetes. Siguro 10 years na. Madalas siyang umiihi, tapos laging pagod, pumayat, mataas ang BP. Tapos siyempre, mga non-healing wound.
Yung sa paa po ni ma'am, paano po yun nag-start?
Okay. Kasi ganito yun eh. Yung first na hospital niya, not because of diabetes. Ang una niya, pneumonia. Ayan. Doon nalaman na may diabetes din siya, by accident. Right foot niya, may para siyang matang isda lang. Yung maliit na itim lang. Tapos napapaligiran lang siya ng parang dilaw na kulay na dilaw. Ring sa sugat na yun sa center. Tapos tinanong ko, bakit? Hindi niya daw alam anong reason. So sigurado ko dahil nga may background ako sa medical, siguro dahil yun ay lumala na yung taas ng sugar niya, hindi niya na monitor, hindi niya nabibigyan ng gamot, nagkaroon siguro siya ng komplikasyon. Yung nerve sa paa na damage na. So, hindi niya na nararamdaman na may natapakan pala siya. So, probably, yun siguro yung nangyari. May natapakan siya, nasugat yung paa niya, maliit lang, tapos hindi niya naramdaman. Lumala. So, nagkaroon siya ng lagnat on and off, nakahiga lang siya. So, sabi ko sa kanya, so, anong plano mo? Tapos, tinignan yung sugat, binusbos. Pero kapiranggot lang ang tiningnan. Tapos, in-advise na lang kami, linis, at 7 days na gamutan ng antibiotic. After na 7 days, lumala lalo. Yung pinaka-pamamaga niya, lumaki lalo. So, sabi ko, ay, na-infect na to. Nilala ko sa emergency room. Ayun, doon nalaman lahat. Mababa pala hemoglobin, mataas masyado yung sugar, yung diabetes niya, talagang marami ng komplikasyon.
Ano po yung plans ng doktor niya?
Na-refer siya sa ortho. Ang plano sa kanya ay putulin. VKA or the below the knee amputation. Hesitant din kami pumirma ng consent. Then later on, ni-refer naman siya sa plastic surgeon. Nagsabi naman sa amin na maganda pa circulation. Might as well na tulungan na lang natin yung paa, linisin, wound dressing for twice a day, then debridement as needed, religiously. So, yun ginawa namin. Twice a day kami naglilinis, tulungan kami ng husband niya, hanggang ang nangyari, gumanda, pero andun pa rin yung plan na putulin. Hanggang makita na gumaganda na, ayun, hindi na naulit yung plan nila na maputol yung paa.
Kasabay po ba nun may mga tinitake pa siyang gamot?
Bukod doon sa antibiotics, bukod sa mga gamot na binigay ng doktor sa ospital, may tinake din siya na alternative medicine, yung PPARs. May kamahalan. So, sinugal ko para, kasi kailangan kung di mo isusugal yun, baka maputulan talaga. Kasi kahit naglilinis kami ng paa, tapos nagdidibri, pero parang slow yung healing process niya. So, I tried na painumin siya at 10 tablets at AM and 10 at lunch and then 10 at the evening. And the soft gel, twice a day also. So, religiously binibigay ko yun sa kanya. Ang dati kasi dahil nag-peak yung WBC niya, medyo nag-septic siya. Sa mga nakakaalam, sabihin yung infection kumalat na sa buong katawan. Kaya nagkaroon ng problema yung kaisipan na nawala sa wisyo. Dramatically, yun yung maganda doon. Dramatically, after 1 to 2 days, parang nakita ko siya ng improvement. Doon, nakita namin na sa help ng antibiotic and together with PPARs, sabi ko, maganda yung kinalabasan. So, why not continue? Hanggang nakita ko rin na gumaganda yung healing process. Tapos yung WBC, nag-dramatically from 46. Imagine, 46, dramatically bumaba siya ng 39, 33, 27, 19, 15, and then 11, 9, 7. So, nakikita mo talaga yung changes na nagawa ng gamot na yun. So, yung support ng family ay mahalaga sa recover ng pasyente. So, una, yun yung talaga nakikita ko, yung support system. Then secondly, syempre, with the help of the advanced technology, like yung mga ini-introduce ng mga gamot, hindi ko pwedeng alisin yun sa scene, sa scenario. So, ako kasi, dahil nga nasa medical field ako, medyo alam ko yung mga ganyang mga alternative medicine and evidence-based ako. So, sa PPARs, sabi ko nga, maganda yung result. Ito walang harong biro to. It's not joke. Yung mo ako binayaran So, it's no joke. Talagang maganda yung yung nangyari sa kapatid ko, lalo na yung wound healing. Yun yung nakikita ko yung wound healing talaga. Nag-granulate siya, gumanda yung circulation, nabuo ng laman, okay? Nagkalaman yung mga paa niya na dating wala. Makikita niyo naman sa picture, di ba? Dating wala, nagkaroon ng laman. So, na-prevent natin yung pagputol. I can say na effective. Okay, effective yung PPARs.
Ano yung ma-advise nyo sa mga patients na same case sa sister ninyo?
Okay. So, I advise them to try. Then, kagaya ko, gusto ko may ebidensya na experience ng on hand ng ate ko. So, ganun din yung papayo ko. Try to experience yung healing, try to take the medicine religiously ha. Despite medyo may konting kamahalan, but then kung titingnan mo naman yung long term na gamutan, mas mahal yun. Tsaka hospitalization. At yung syempre, yung recovery. Yun yung maganda doon eh. Yung recovery, mapabilis. So, try ninyo. Hello, I'm Joel Elcano. My sister, diabetic since way back 10 years up to now. Because of SimplyNature, hindi niya na kailangan mag-amputate. Yung recovery niya, yung unti-unti nagkaroon ng maganda, nagkalaman yung kanyang mga paa. Still recovering, yet nakikita ko yung magandang bunga. And that is because of SimplyNature PPARs. And I trust SimplyNature.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ako si Nur Haji Norma Yusuf, taga Zamboanga City. Pero dito na ako nakatira sa Maynila. 13 pieces na bukol, pero yung mga iba maliit siya. Pero yung itong isa malaki siya, parang umabot na ata ng 3. Kaya nga ito sabi ng doktor, kailangan tanggalin na. May kaibigan ako, try ko daw itong yung PPAR. Pangalawang gabi, may naramdaman ako parang iba. Yung parang may langgam na parang gumagalaw ganyan hanggang dito, hanggang sa talampakan, ganon. Pangatlong araw ko. Parang sumakit yung dito ko, parang gusto ko talaga. Pag ko ganyan sa CR, yun parang lumabas talaga na ganyan, napakarami talaga. Siguro sunod-sunod yun, 3 araw, ganun. Tapos sabi ko, pagtapos yung dito ko, minsan yung parang, ganun-ganun ako. Parang masikip dito, parang minsan sumasakit dito ko, ganyan. Yung na ako dito, umabot na ng mga 5 days, ganyan. Parang nawala yung sakit dito, nawala siya. Parang hindi na ako ganon. Pag nagsalita ako, parang tuloy-tuloy na, wala na akong halos maramdaman. Kaya siguro, hindi ako, sabi ko, parang ayaw ko magpa-opera, siguro mayroon talagang gamot para dito. Binigay ng God. Ngayon, hanggang ngayon, parang maganda ang maganda ang pakiramdam ko. Yung high blood ko, pag parang magandang tinanggal ko na yung sa cholesterol ko, hindi na ako, pero yung sa cholesterol ko, pag tinatanggal ko yon, parang hindi, mga 2 araw, parang masama ang pakiramdam ko. Pero ito, 14 days na, ngayon 14 days na, basta 2 weeks na, hindi ako uminom ng subastatin, wala akong nararamdaman na parang maganda ang Kaya yun, ngayon bumili pa ako ulit ng tablet. Oo. Kasi sabi ko para para lumakas talaga sa akin ng Kasi nararamdaman ko talaga na maganda. Ay, Norma Yusuf, ay bukol ako dito sa liig ko, 13 piraso. Umabot na ng 3 cm. Take ako ng PPARs 2 times, morning at saka gabi. Pag numulok ako, hindi ko na siya mararamdaman. At saka kinakapa ko siya, parang nawawala, parang wala na, hindi ko mahawakan. Hindi katulad ng dati. Salamat, SimplyNature.
And welcome to the
first Simply Nature webinar of 2025. Powered by Simply Nature International and Simply Healed Medical Group, this program is where hope meets innovation in the fight against cancer, metabolic illnesses like diabetes and hypertension, and other health battles. Today's session is entitled How Simply Nature PPARs Enhances Oncological Protocols. Beyond the science, this webinar is about empowering families and patients with hope, showing that even in the face of cancer, there are gentle and effective ways to improve outcomes. Join us as we uncover how Simply Nature PPARs transform treatment journeys and inspire a brighter and healthier future. Happy New Year, everyone! We sincerely appreciate your time and support, and we encourage you to share this online event with friends and loved ones who might find the insights shared here tonight valuable. Now, let's get started. Don't forget that we will be having what we call AMA or Ask Me Anything portion later, so please feel free to drop your questions on the comment section. Leading our discussions tonight are esteemed health speakers. To start off, let me introduce a successful entrepreneur and accomplished international speaker known for his expertise in topics ranging from personal success to healthcare. He is the CEO and founding director of Simply Nature International and the PPARs expert from Singapore, Mr. Shyan Lim. Good evening, Sir Shyan.
Good evening, Ciela. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to 2025. This is our inaugural broadcast, I guess, live show, our very first one in 2025. As you can see, I think the first thing I need, Sheila, is I need a new haircut. Right? The Christmas season and then the New Year's is just so difficult. But yeah, well, tonight's topic is just a good, how shall we say, starter for everyone. For all our regular viewers, right? This year, we'll be covering all the topics that we usually cover and also some new ones. So tonight, we're going to start with how Simply Nature PPARs enhances oncological protocols. So to all the viewers who have questions about cancer, right? Dr. Jansen will be discussing some stuff, and he will be also here with us to answer the Ask Me Anything questions. So all questions about cancer treatments from integrative, right? Which is a combination of non-traditional conventional methods of treating cancer to oncological protocols. We'll do our best to answer your questions so that you can start your fight against cancer in January on the right foot. All right, so without further ado, I'll hand the time back to Sheila, and I will see you in about 15 minutes because it's going to be a short discussion and we'll answer all your questions tonight. All right, Sheila, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. Now let's turn to the next health expert. It is a privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Jansen Kalalan, a graduate of St. Luke's Medicine. Dr. Kalalan is a diplomat of both the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine and the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine. He currently serves as a consultant at several prestigious institutions, including the Alta Integrative Medicine and Wellness Complex at Perpetual Health Medical Center Las Piñas, Tree of Life Wellness Center, Centro Holistico, and Simply Healed Medical Group, where he specializes in integrative oncology. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jansen Kalalan. Let's all watch this.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. Tonight we'll be talking about how Simply Nature PPAR protocols can enhance your oncological protocols. So when I say oncological protocols, I mean protocols that your oncologist will use to treat your cancer. This includes chemotherapy, immunotherapy, even radiation therapy, and of course, surgery. What I'm going to share with you tonight is usually what I present to doctors, especially oncologists. And over the years, I've been speaking to pediatric oncologists, medical oncologists, and even surgical oncologists. So I'm going to present tonight to you what matters most when an oncologist treats you for your cancer. Okay, don't worry, I won't actually present the super technical presentation that I normally present to oncologists. Instead, I'll do it a bit more layman term and we'll make it like more brisk, more general so that it's easy for you to understand. What's important from today's discussion is that you take away a clear understanding of how Simply Nature PPARs works together with your chemotherapy, with your immunotherapy, and even your radiation and surgery to fight your cancer. Okay, those of you who are going to go for chemotherapy and those of you who are in the midst of your chemotherapy and immunotherapy treatments, even radiation therapy, one of the key things that the oncologist will monitor for you is your red blood cell count. The reason is because almost all chemotherapy drugs have the side effect of myelosuppression. Now, that's just a medical term for the suppression of your bone marrow in its ability to produce blood, right? And when we talk about blood, we are talking about both the red blood cells and the white blood cells. In general, most people understand that white blood cells are part of the immune system, right? But actually, not just the white blood cell. The red blood cell is also an important component of the immune system. Now, when you are undergoing chemotherapy, and those of you who are undergoing chemotherapy now, you will notice you're constantly monitoring your RBC count, your red blood cell count. And the moment your red blood cell count drops below a certain level, you cannot continue with your chemotherapy or your immunotherapy or your targeted therapy or radiation, or for that matter, even surgery. So it's so critical. That's like the one benchmark your oncologist will be looking at and monitoring throughout your journey, through your different cycles of chemotherapy. So today, I'm going to talk about how SimplyNature PPAR plays an important role in monitoring and maintaining this key component, which is your red blood cell count. What happens when you take chemotherapy? We all, in general, know that chemotherapy damages the healthy cells. Specifically, we're actually very worried about the chemotherapy or cytotoxicity, which is toxicity from the chemotherapy, damaging your bone marrow, and specifically in your bone marrow, affecting the way your bone marrow stem cells mature into red blood cells and white blood cells. Okay, your blood is actually produced in your bone marrow, and it starts in there as a blood stem cell. And from there, it will mature into a red blood cell or a white blood cell. So when you undergo chemotherapy, number one, your bone marrow cells actually get damaged. So you can imagine the factory of your blood gets damaged. So of course, your red blood cell starts to drop. The other thing is that your red blood cells themselves can be destroyed by the effects of chemotherapy. Now, let's dive into how chemotherapy actually works to kill your cancer cells. One of the key ways chemotherapy drugs kill your cancer cells is to affect the mitochondrial pathways in your cancer cells. Okay, what are mitochondrial pathways? Okay, mitochondrials are basically the battery or the energy or the generator of every cell. So can you imagine if you manage to knock out or remove the battery from your cancer cell? What happens to the cancer cell? It will stop moving, it will stop growing, it will stop living because it's running out of energy. It cannot produce energy. So most chemotherapy drugs, in one mechanism or another, through different approaches, will try to damage the mitochondria of the cancer cell, and that way kill the cancer cell. So that's how it works. What happens with SimplyNature PPARs is that SimplyNature PPARs extracts will actually protect, I say again, it will actually protect and preserve the mitochondrial functions of your healthy cells. So as I mentioned, the chemotherapy drug damages mitochondrial function. So it will also damage the mitochondrial functions of your healthy cells, specifically your bone marrow cells and your red blood and your blood cells. So that will end up killing and damaging your blood production, right? And then your RBC count drops. And the moment your RBC count drops, what happens? Your oncologist will then be a bit more, will be very concerned because you might not be able to go for your next cycle of treatment. And once your cycle of treatment is interrupted, guess what happens? Your schedule gets delayed, right? And timing is very important. Time is of the essence when we're fighting cancer. You don't want to delay any treatment. It'll be ideal if you can stick to the original planned cycles that your onco has for you. So
while you're undergoing chemotherapy, you should be taking supplements, you should be taking measures to keep yourself healthy, keep your RBC count so that you can go through it smoothly. Okay? So what does SimplyNature PPAR do? It actually protects the mitochondrial and preserves the mitochondrial function of your healthy cells. So because it does that, the main side effect that you get from chemotherapy that everybody is so afraid of is actually mitigated or reduced. Okay. So now, of course, when I present to oncologists that we can protect the cells from mitochondrial damage, the first question that they will come to their mind is, will this also protect the cancer cell, right? Many times when we take any supplements that is like cell food or energizes the cell, one common question that many people will ask is that, will this also make the cancer cells stronger? If I make the healthy cells stronger, then will I also make the cancer cells stronger? So there are a few, I guess, solutions to this or answers to this. Some people will give you a very simple answer, which is like, there are more healthy cells in your body than cancer cells. So it's okay to feed your cells and make them strong because you have more healthy cells than cancer cells. So even though you feed the cancer cells, you also feed the healthy cells. And since the healthy cells are more, it's okay. Well, that's not how SimplyNature PPARs works. Okay? When SimplyNature PPAR extracts protect the cells from mitochondrial damage, it only protects the healthy cells. Yep. You heard me right, and that's where the oncologists feel more comfortable. So what is the mechanism? What's the mechanism? Okay, when the SimplyNature PPAR extract interacts with your cells, the cells need to have a functioning mitochondrial pathway, a normal mitochondrial pathway. Well, cancer cells do not have normal functioning mitochondrial pathways. Just like cancer cells, the shape of cancer cells are different from healthy normal cells. Their mitochondrial pathways are also, how shall we say, compromised, dysfunctional, mutated. Because their mitochondrial pathways are mutated, they don't react with SimplyNature PPAR extracts to create that protective effect. Okay? So in this way, SimplyNature PPARs is able to target only the healthy cells, is able to help only the healthy cells and not protect the cancer cells. So this means that your chemotherapy, your immunotherapy will work 100% fully and not be affected by the protective nature of SimplyNature PPAR extracts on the healthy cells. So this is the mechanism of how the product actually differentiates between cancer cells and healthy cells. And I hope that makes you comfortable to know that your chemotherapy session, your targeted chemotherapy will not be affected by the protective effect of SimplyNature PPARs, but your body will actually be, your healthy cells will be protected. Okay, now let's still stay on the topic of red blood cell count. So now that we protect the existing red blood cell count, this will prevent your red blood cells from dying and of course the count from dropping. But there's another way to maintain and increase your red blood cell count, right? So the other way is actually the production of red blood cell count. So number one, since we protect the bone marrow cells from cytotoxicity damage, that means the factory for making blood is protected. The actual development of your red blood cells is also enhanced. How? SimplyNature PPAR affects cell delineation. It basically, that's a big word, but really what it means is that it helps with the development of your cells. So when your stem cell, when your blood stem cell needs to develop into red blood cells, it will develop correctly and you will have a higher harvest, right? Like when you throw seeds in the soil, not every seed will grow into a plant, right? Most do, but not all will. So depending on the fertilizer that you put to help the seeds germinate and grow fruits, right? So your harvest will be different. SimplyNature PPARs will actually improve, all right, the harvest of the amount of red blood cells and white blood cells that will come from your blood stem cells, okay? I think that analogy will help you understand. To all the patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, your doctor is going to monitor your RBC. So we now know that you can protect the factory for your blood cells, the bone marrow. It also protects the existing blood cells. Number two, it will help with the development of your blood cells, blood stem cells to become red blood cells and white blood cells. And that will increase the harvest of your RBCs. So having these two actions work together will help you maintain, all right, your RBC count. And again, that is critical for your successful keeping to your schedule for your chemotherapy cycles. And that will definitely improve your oncological protocols and give you a better success rate. On top of that, definitely Simply Nature extracts will nourish your body tremendously. So there are many case studies and examples. Most of our patients, especially the ones who are so tired and damaged from chemotherapy and cancer that, for example, they are bedridden, with the Simply Nature PPAR liquid extract, as fast as 72 hours to a week, from bedridden, they will be able to sit up and maybe even walk with assistance. So there's that other benefit, that physical benefit, that the feeling, the fatigue, the appetite, all this, Simply Nature PPAR extracts will help you through your chemotherapy sessions. Okay? Of course, some people will talk about hair loss. Okay, you will still shave your head, not because your hair drops, because the doctor will be worried in case your hair drops, you might feel emotionally attached. So they will just shave just so that you won't notice if there's any hair loss. But the good news is Simply Nature PPAR will help you with the regrowing of your hair, right? Because it increases the harvest of cells that are developing. Okay? In summary, how does Simply Nature PPARs improve or enhance your chemotherapy or immunotherapy, even your radiation therapy and surgery? It protects you from the damage of the drugs, the cytotoxicity. It protects the bone marrow. It helps the bone marrow to have a better harvest of red blood cells. So the most important thing that you need to monitor through the treatment, which is your RBC count, stays constant. It will also strengthen your body, right? Give you that strength, increase your appetite, so that you will not be fatigued as well. And all that is very important in that process. And last but not least, for those of you who have already started your chemotherapy and your RBC count is down, and your doctor says we can't continue with the treatment, we have to wait until your RBC count goes up, and you are worried, what can you do? You don't know, your treatment can't proceed, and you are kind of stuck in your fight against cancer. Well, here's the good news. Use the Simply Nature PPAR liquid. That will quickly boost your RBC count up. I personally have had clients and patients that were doing novel chemotherapy drug treatment, and one of the major side effects is that it damages the bone marrow cells, and of course it drops the red blood cell count. Well, the moment they are on Simply Nature liquid, as quickly as 48 hours, their red blood cell count starts to stabilize and then go back up, and they become able to carry on with their chemotherapy treatment. Of course, this would vary from patient to patient, from one cancer type to another, but it will work for all cancer types. But of course, there are variants between the different types of chemotherapy drugs and the efficacy. All right. So for that, you simply just ask me questions in the next segment, which is the Ask Me Anything segment. So I hope this helps all the patients out there who are undergoing chemotherapy, immunotherapy, radiation, and surgical procedures. See you at the AMA.
Leading once again, I am very sure that you have learned so much from that discussion. And now we are in what we call AMA, or Ask Me Anything portion. But before that, let me greet our avid viewers for tonight, who also greeted us Happy New Year, Miss Elena Robles Antonio and Miss Ethel Bautista Manaloto. We also have Miss Helen Basalio Kamanayan from Baguio. Thank you so much for watching us. And for all our viewers tonight, once again, happy New Year. All right, so let's not keep you waiting. I can see a lot of questions are coming in. Now, to answer the questions, in this modern world filled with the noise of different health opinions, it's 2025. Trust the ones from the experts. To answer our questions for tonight, let me call on once again our PPARs expert from Singapore, Mr. Shyan Lim, and of course, our lifestyle medicine doctor, Dr. Jansen Kalalan. Good evening, Sir Shyan. Good evening, Dr. Jansen, and Happy New Year to you both.
Oh, Doc,
New
just
Year.
New Year. Doc, thank you for the wonderful dinner with your family. I really enjoyed it. And it's so nice to see Doc Johnson's lovely wife, Dr. Grace. Now it's Dr. Grace Kalalan.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations. All right, Sheila, shall we begin?
Yeah, and we shall. All right, so for our first question, this question was thrown to us by one of our registrants. She's a teacher from Cebu City, Miss Jocelyn. What do I use if I am going in my first cycle of KPOX chemotherapy and bevacizumab for targeted therapy? I am diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Oh, wow. Doc?
Yeah, right off the bat, it should be PPARs liquid, though, if we're just talking about SimplyNature PPARs. So we typically, well, me personally, I don't know with the other SimplyNature doctors, but I would advise you to go for the liquid and the tablets combination. Yeah, yeah.
All right, Sir Sean, would you like to add anything?
Doc Johnson said it right. The liquid, stage 4. So we are all with you. Please don't delay. Continue with your treatments. And I would also advise you, since you're stage 4 colon cancer, to make an appointment with Doc Johnson and see how he can help you go through the treatments that you're going through. And of course, if you have more questions, you can ask Dr. Johnson during the online consult. All right, so please, yeah.
Yes, may I just say that for those of you who wish to have a consult with Dr. Jansen, you can just type in how to consult, and one of our pretty HCS will definitely get in touch with you individually.
I would advise everyone to quickly, those who want to consult Dr. Jansen, quickly before his appointments fill up. It's the beginning of the year, so I think his schedule is still available. All right, and those of you who want to see him personally, take advantage this week. I think today the traffic is very light because everybody is still not back at work. I think tomorrow will be the same. This will be a good, the old saying, early bird catches the worm. So now it's a good time to quickly act upon your medical condition. Yeah.
That's right. Now, for our next question coming from Mr. Nelson, what would be your best recommendation for me who has sciatica or Fens nerve? I also have prostatitis and CKD. Please advise.
Okay, I need to see you. So in order for me to make a proper recommendation, but this is the treatments that I'm going to mention next will just be in general, no, not specifically for this patient.
Yes.
Right. So for sciatica, Fens nerve, so the problem here is anatomic. The solution here is surgery. Okay. Now, of course, surgery will not be recommended left and right. No, there is a proper way to assess a patient, to evaluate a patient, to know if the patient really needs surgery or not, no, or would non-invasive treatments would suffice, no, to prolong the time that you would need surgery. Okay, so one recommendation would be ozone therapy. So that's prolozone for the sciatica. Now, prolozone is a mixture of prolotherapy and ozone therapy. So we basically inject you with a solution. Okay, so this solution is just vitamins and minerals. Then ozone, it's a gas, no, that we inject onto your buttocks. Okay, so the main purpose of prolotherapy is pain management, and that's it. Okay. Now for the prostatitis, since this is a inflammation of the prostate, we have to know what the reason is first. No? So inflammation of the prostate can come from two things. So these are quite common. So the first one is infection. So if you have long-standing UTI or urinary tract infection, there are anatomic problems inside your urinary tract. So this can lead to prostatitis. Another reason is metabolic problems, no, obesity, diabetes, high triglyceride levels. So these conditions. For the CKD, now this is the one that's gonna be limiting the recommendations that can be applied for you, especially with PPARs. But for CKD patients, I would, if especially if you have these diseases, I would recommend PPARs right off, PPARs powder right off the bat, together in combination with the tablets. But my approach with CKD is I start low and I go slow, no? So I give you test doses first, see how your creatinine responds. Then I go from there. I escalate the dose as tolerated. Uh, Now there are situations when I use PPARS liquid for CKD patients, but this is only for patients who I really see a lot of problems with the gut, problems with inflammation. So that's when I use it. Okay, so I really need to see you so I know what to prescribe. So yeah.
Thank you, Doc. I just want to echo out what you said because you've been mentioning about a lot about metabolic illnesses, and this is actually one of our got or get worse. Or gets worse. Well,
Yeah,
thank you, Doc. Yes,
yeah, I
yes,
also
sir.
want to add that, Dr. Jansen recommended the most appropriate product in our PPARS protocol, which is for CKD patients, it will be the extract powder. All right, so that is actually low on potassium, which is something that kidney patients will be concerned with. So that's the best choice. So yeah, Dr. Johnson's recommendations are right on the dot, and it's perfect. So please act upon it. Yeah, so that you can have a successful you can choose the successful strategy for you, right? So as Dr. Jansen said, he would need to see you. So please make an appointment so that you can progress with your next step in treating your ailment.
I agree. All right, thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. For our next question, this is actually very timely because the question is, what would be your best recommendation for arthritis? Can PPARs plus suffice? We just had our medianoche, okay, and holiday season. I guess a lot could relate.
Yeah, I ate a lot also. Doc ate a lot also.
Yes, we did. All of us did.
Yeah,
Right?
we now have to watch our weight. Doc, tonight my dinner is oatmeal.
Wow.
Yeah, no choice, right? All the terrible feasting. Yeah.
we haven't had dinner yet.
Oh, okay. Well, you should do
Intermittent
fasting.
fasting. Yeah, intermittent fasting.
Okay, yeah. What's the recommendation?
So, yeah, for arthritis, we need to know the reason why you have arthritis. So we have autoimmune problems, we have wear and tear problems. So that would be osteoarthritis. The autoimmune one is psoriatic arthritis. It's rheumatoid arthritis. So these things. So another one is metabolic, which is from uric acid, no, which is gout. So we really need to know what is the source first, okay? But for these three conditions, tablets would be good because the tablets have very good anti-inflammatory properties. But to really treat you, I have to know what you have, what kind of arthritis you have. Then I would know. Okay, so I just mentioned a few treatment approaches. No, so for gout, of course, anti-inflammatory medications for pain. We can also use ozone therapy for that. Vitamin C treatments. No, so that's one. Of course, your typical uric acid lowering medication. We need those. Okay. Another for osteoarthritis, depends on the grade. If the osteoarthritis is really, really bad, then surgery is needed. If it is still okay, quite good, physical therapy, acupuncture would be a good idea to go for this. Actually, for acupuncture, all three kinds of arthritis, regardless of arthritis. As long as you have pain, acupuncture works really, really good in tandem with physical therapy.
Yeah.
But from me, what I do for patients who have arthritis is prolozone. Yeah, so I can also do injections around your knee, not inside your knee, but just around your knee for pain management as well. Okay. For rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, we really need to manage your immune system because these two comes about with overactive or not really overactive immune system, but your immune system targeting the wrong organs. No? So it's modulating the immune system. So with autoimmune arthritis, I use, of course, ozone therapy. I use vitamin D3. PPARs is gonna be always there. Anti-inflammatory concoctions, no, intravenously. So I do give those as well. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc Jansen. Sir Sean, would you like to add anything?
No, perfect answer.
Okay, all right. For our next question, coming from Ms. Liz Amlimango. Good evening. Please advise. I was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer last July. January 13 is my third chemo, and I'm taking PPARs Plus last November. So far, from 7 centimeters to 4 centimeters. Wow.
Wow,
It's
wonderful. Good news.
the lump on her breast. So thank you. What would you advise to this patient?
Continue treatment. It's working.
Yeah, it's working, right? From 7 to 4, it's working. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Right. So what a wonderful combination. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
Liz is taking PPAR Plus. So I assume that's tablets. So
Right.
yeah, I would recommend, as you go for chemotherapy, the more cycles you go through, the more, how shall we say, the more fatigue or taxed your body will become, right? Many people in their first few sessions are fine, but as they progress, it gets more and more tiring. So for Liz, if ever you find yourself a little bit more tired with the 4th and 5th cycles, then you might really consider to move to soft gel capsules as your standard. Or you can preemptively start on a soft gel capsule so that you can go through your next few sessions very smoothly. And if ever the case, in your later sessions, if you can really feel the toll of the drug, then go for liquid extract. I'm just telling you that so that in the event that it happens, you know immediately what you can do. All right. Yeah.
Thank you. May I just quickly add as well, if you're feeling any constipation due to your chemotherapy drugs, you may want to
That's
also
true.
add cleansing plus.
Yeah, it's important to poop. It's very important. You feel so much better as well because your toxins are being flushed out. All right. And Dr. Jansen has shared many times how important it is for your gut microbiome to be healthy when you're undergoing cancer treatment.
That's right. Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Next question thrown to us privately by one of our viewers. Coming from Regs, my poop is thinning. It's probably colon polyps. I want to try PPARs, but I'm already taking placenta or stem cell therapy for 1 month already. What PPAR is the best for me?
I have to go see you. I need to see you. You might be even taking the wrong supplements. Okay. For any person who has tumors, I would not advise stem cells. Because stem cells have a lot of growth factors that can make those tumors increase in size. This is especially so for solid tumors, especially for cancer patients. No, the number one contraindication for stem cell therapy is cancer. That's what doctors screen for. Yeah, those doctors who legitimately know how to administer stem cell therapy and companies who manufacture stem cell, the proper stem cell, the correct stem cell products. Okay, so cancer is always what we look for, and if a patient has suspected cancers or with just suspicion, though, we don't give the stem cells. Okay. If you have colon polyps, I don't know if the polyps, how the polyps were diagnosed, but let's assume it is polyps, no? Benign tumors. I would not advise stem cells. But what I would advise rather would be to increase your fiber intake. So you considering PPARs would be a wise decision because PPARs has fiber. It also has very high anti-inflammatory polyphenols, no, that can lower the inflammation inside your gut, fix your gut, so to speak. Algae also feed the microbiome. Yeah, it also feeds the microbiome. It also acts a prebiotic, so to speak. But for right off the bat, I would increase fiber intake. So you have cleansing plus if you're not fond of eating vegetables. So for men and women, you have to aim for at least 35 grams of fiber every single day. If you are not too fond of eating plant foods, then psyllium husk would be a good temporary. You can find that in everywhere. Simply Nature has one, cleansing plus. So the main ingredient for that is psyllium husk, but they infuse them with a lot of berries to make it more delicious to drink. No? Um, quite effective actually. I've tried different psyllium husks because personally I have constipation personally, so I'm sharing this. I'm putting it out there. So I've had a fair share of my experimentation. Cleansing plus so far has been my go-to. Okay, and I'm not saying that because I'm trying to promote or whatever, but it really works. No, it really works compared to the others. I'm not gonna mention brands, but they might come after me.
Yeah.
But don't go for the cheaper ones. Really, really, you do. Okay. Also, another one that you have to look in that you have to look into are probiotics. Probiotics really can fix how well your bowel moves, how well your immune system, functions. When I went to abroad, no, a few weeks ago, um, I was there. Through the airport. The airport it was terrible in the immigration. So I think I got the infection there. Then when I arrived at my destination, I immediately had sore throat for 2 days, runny nose for 2 days. On the third day, it went away completely.
Wow.
Yeah, I was taking just the probiotics actually because that's all I can bring with me. So goes to show that it really works, right? When I do get these kinds of sickness, no, or illness, when I do get cough and colds, it usually lasts for 1 week, which is terrible. It's 1 week, right? But I was sick for 2 days, then it went away. So it's really quite good, no. So going back to you, if you have colon polyps, immediately stop the stem cells. I don't know what kind of stem cells even you're taking. So yeah, I really need to see you so I can make the appropriate recommendation, and we can adjust the supplements that you're taking as well.
I just want to, right? It is what Dr. Jansen say is very, very important, right? Because as Dr. Jansen says, stem cell treatment is actually risky for cancer patients, right? It's because stem cells have tumor growth stimulation, right? It can also create cancer recurrence, unregulated cell growth, right? And if you are using a proper stem cell treatment, some stem cell treatments even require you to suppress your immune system because you are injecting a foreign stem cell, right? So that to avoid rejection. Okay, so the only time stem cells are even considered to be used is usually for leukemia. where they are trying to, replace your blood stem cells. Okay, so it's basically hematopoietic stem cell transplant, right? So it's literally to transplant and give you more new blood stem cells. And of course, for tissue repair after post-cancer, so if you do radiation therapy or whatever, or the very, very expensive cutting-edge technology where you have genetically engineered stem cells from that specifically tailored. But if not, if you're asking this question, I hope that you are not taking like some network marketing product stem cell, okay? Because all the network marketing product stem cells are most likely not real stem cells, okay? It's just marketed as stem cells, but they are not. And as Dr. Jansen said, just do a simple Google research, okay? So be careful. I just did a Google search as well, stem cells and cancer patients. So some of the initial hit is that, oh, stem cells is being used for cancer treatment. But if you read carefully in those examples, it's all for blood cancer. So not because you have polyps, you have growths. Okay, so if you read at the other entries and you do a Google search, right, you will really see that stem cells are dangerous for anybody who has growths, all right, suspected malignant tumors or even normal tumors. They're going to promote it. So please, see Dr. Jansen. And that's when you see Dr. Jansen, perhaps you can show him the actual stem cells you were looking at, the product, and he will be able to let you know, number one, whether they are real stem cell products. Number one, real stem cell products cost minimum, the ones that I have encountered, minimum is about 400 to 600,000 pesos, minimum. All right, Doc, what about you? Have you encountered any cheap stem cells? I know things that cost 5,000, 10,000 pesos.
Yes, I have encountered a lot of these stem cells, but it's fake. Yeah, I mean, it's
fake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because my friend actually does sell stem cells treatments, right? And they're not for cancer treatment, they are for anti-aging. So they start the price starts at 600,000 pesos. So yeah, so just to let you know, if you're buying any stem cell product at 20,000, 30,000 pesos, I sincerely doubt that they are actually real stem cells. So with that, I hope every viewer also on tonight's program, okay, be very careful. Stem cell products are not to be used for cancer treatment. Just Google it. The only time stem cell treatment is used for cancer treatment is the genetically engineered ones. That means these are very expensive ones and possibly for leukemia. Okay, apart from that, if you have any other type of cancer, please be careful. Thank you, Doc. I think not because I know in excuse me, saliva caught down the wrong throat. Right? People think that stem cell sounds very advanced, and they get confused with stem cells with immunotherapy. For the general public, these things may sound very similar, and a lot of network marketing companies or direct selling companies or natural treatment therapies you use these words freely. There are, or believe it or not, I also have factories that wanted to share with me, because we do distribution, right? Share me plant-based stem cells. And then if you look at the whole thing, it's not stem cells at all. Right? So they have things like plant-based, non-animal stem cells. These are not really your stem cells, and they can't really help you the way that you think they can. All right. Thank you. Let's go to the next question.
Thank you. Very helpful question. Thank you, Mr. Regs. I'm guessing. Question coming from Ms. Althea. What are the typical milestones for noticing results when? Would you like to share, like, for the high ends, like the liquid, or notable effects or that they could see?
I'll go first. First is I check the well-being of the patient. General well-being. So just by talking to the patient, this is quite subjective, but when the patient says that overall there's improvement in how in what he or she feels, appetite, sleep, no, these general sense of well-being sensations, then that's what I look for. Number two would be objective parameters. So I want to see your blood, no? So improvement in your fasting sugar, in fasting blood sugar, your lipids, your liver function, your kidney function, uric acid, signs of inflammation. So I also look into those important things. So these are the signs that I look at those to say that, hey, you're improving from taking PPARs. Okay, so you have to remember also, no, remember there's no fixed laboratory parameter tests, no, to know if a patient is improving or not, because PPARs is a gene activator, so it fixes it activates the genes in order to in order to bring back your body to a healthy state. So there's no set laboratory test to know if you're improving or not. Okay, you really need to see a doctor, get assessed, get evaluated by a doctor, so the doctor would know what tests to look into to see if there are improvement or not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. It's different from medications, okay? Because for medication, simple. Losartan, okay, anti-hypertensive medication. One parameter to look into, blood pressure. Okay? Anti-diabetic medication, one parameter to look into, fasting sugar, HbA1c. That's it. For PPARs, no. It's not like that. Okay? You have to assess the patient. Know what the patient is sick of. Then from there you check the laboratories, then you check whether the patient is improving or not. Okay?
You know, with Doc Jansen's answer, right, you can just see how amazing, how powerful, and also how important, how seriously effective the PPAR protocol is, right? That the doctor has to take a look at you, because there's the mechanism of action of how PPARs works in your body. There are multiple functions. So the doctor, as Dr. Jansen said, has to properly identify to see what your issue is and look out to see how the PPAR is affecting your medical ailment. All right. So again, thank you, Dr. Jansen, for that explanation. It really helps to show our viewers that it's not just like vitamin C that you're taking, right? It's really a wonderful product. So it's one of the best products for healthy people to take the PPAR tablets, because it has so many mechanisms of action that's going to help you. When you are very critically ill, then that's where you really need experts like Dr. Jansen, all right, to be able to help you, guide you through that process, all right? So there you go. And we have this program. You can always come to this program every Thursday night to ask Dr. Jansen. But do remember, everyone that's viewing tonight, anything that me and Dr. Jansen says is for general circumstances only. You should not use it as actual medical advice, right? It's just to give you an understanding of, so that you can know what to take the next step, which always includes a proper consultation, okay? So Dr. Jansen is not giving you consultation now. He's just speaking in general for situations similar to yours, okay? So do remember, because everyone's medical condition is unique and it's about medicine, so please have a proper consult with Dr. Jansen.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Well, I just say this is the very reason why here in Simply Nature, we always want our patients to be always coordinated with your doctors. We don't want people to say, I think I'm okay, I think I feel better. Just like what Dr. Jansen said, we want solid evidences of your improvement. Okay. All right. We have an interesting question here coming from Miss Andrea. Question is, which is worse for cancer? Is it eating sugar or eating red meat?
Both are bad. Both are bad, but if I'm going to choose one, and only one.
Yeah.
Dr.
Jansen is
very difficult.
deep thought.
Sugar or
Red meat.
sugar or red meat? Wow, it's really a very difficult question.
Which means avoid both.
Yeah,
Right.
it's really
That's
to
the
avoid both.
answer.
Yeah, it's really avoid both. It's really to avoid both. But okay, I'll give you scenarios. If the patient is really weak, like cachectic, as in thin, then I would cut out sugar. I would increase protein intake. I might also even advise the patient to eat meat, the red meat, more than the sugar. Yeah, so this is a fight between rice and barbecue, pork barbecue. Okay, for a patient who is uh okay, a cancer patient that is obese, who is obese, no, very yeah, round cancer
Mhm.
patient. I would advise to cut out. I'd advise to cut out the sugar. Yeah, I'd advise to cut out the sugar. So your pastries, your ice cream, your your juices, your candies, yeah, say goodbye to them. Your sweeteners, okay, your honey, whatever that is, say goodbye, say goodbye. Okay.
Mhm.
For a person who is generally thin, healthy looking, you won't know if the cancer patient has if the patient has cancer or not just by looking. I would probably tell the patient to cut out red meat. Yeah.
Oh, why, doc? Why, doc? Why?
Yeah. Because number one, patient is quite healthy. Uh, so definitely avoid. I would definitely tell the patient to avoid anything that makes tumors grow. Okay, it's to prevent the situation from getting worse, so to speak, because animal protein can really make tumors grow really fast. Okay, so in that case, if the patient is um well more healthy looking, then this person would definitely have a better edge or a better survival rate over a patient who is obese versus and a patient who is underweight. Yeah, so um, definitely the patient does not have any lack of protein. So yeah, remove the red meat. Just go with the sugar. But for the obese one, for the obese, definitely cut out the sugar. Yeah, red meat okay because you can cheat. No, not really cheat. Or just try to modify how or try to try creative things no to eat the meat. One such creative way to eat the meat is to wrap the meat with a vegetable,
Mm.
like your samgyeopsal. Okay, so if
Samgyeopsal. That's
yeah,
nice.
so yeah. So if you wrap the meat with a vegetable, then it would pass inside your intestine faster. Yeah. So
I,
that's creative ways on how to approach things, right?
I sense that you had very a very difficult time in suggesting this, and I believe that these instances are for last resorts for our patients. Correct.
Mhm, mhm.
Nice.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I think one thing that we realized from today's conversation is that rules of thumbs actually cannot beat actually having a proper consult with Dr. Jansen.
Mhm.
All right. So it seems like the answer everybody would have thought is avoid red meat, and then Dr. Jansen actually gave different scenarios where for certain persons avoiding sugar will be more important than avoiding red meat, and vice versa. So I think it just goes to show that reading health blogs and listening to YouTube videos are often not enough. If you want proper advice and want to know something that's ideal for you and your condition. Nothing beats having a proper consultation with Dr. Jansen. So with that, I just want to, let's move on to the next question. I think that was really good.
Right. Okay, for our next question, coming from Ms. Jasmine, is peanut butter okay for high cholesterol and diabetes? If yes, do you have recommended brand? Wow.
Okay, this question was asked by this
Yeah.
viewer, a very, very specific question. So, okay, I'll do my best to answer, no? Peanut butter in general is okay.
Oh, wow, that's good
It's
news.
okay.
Okay.
My favorite.
If the peanut butter is homemade.
Oh, okay.
Now,
And it's not
if you know
difficult.
how
It's
to,
actually not difficult to make, Doc. Peanut
yeah,
butter.
yeah.
Just roast peanut and then put it in a blender and just keep blending. It will become the peanut butter you see in
Peanut
the store.
butter, yeah, the busy, yes, right. But I don't know with the situation of the patient. Patient was asking a brand, so I don't think the patient has would want to make an effort to create to make peanut butter at home, right? So if you're going to the supermarket and buy one, all right. How do you know if the peanut butter is healthy or not? No. Okay.
Oh, I remember
So
the story with your dad.
yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, he's not here. I don't think he's watching anyway. So, um, this is what you do, no? This is what you do for if when you're buying peanut butter, look at the total carbohydrates. So you have to read the nutrition facts, no? Look at the total carbohydrates. Take a look at the number beside it, and then divide that with the total fiber. Okay, so divide total carbohydrates by total fiber or fiber. Okay, so what you want is a value of 5 or less. That would mean that the fiber amount of fiber inside that product is still sufficiently high. So if it is still sufficiently high, then you would know that the product was not processed too much. Okay, so that's the first criteria. Actually, the saturated fats I will there's inside supermarkets, every single one of them would not be healthy, actually. Okay, because the saturated fat content would be quite high. Okay, anyway, just look at the fiber. Okay, if the fiber content is adequate, then that's good. Yes, single most important criteria that you have to look at. So brands that fulfills this criteria, Lily's Classic, that is available in the Philippines. Lily's Classic, that's the brand.
Isn't that
Okay.
a local brand, Lily?
Yes, that's a local brand. Lily's.
Wow.
Cheap, actually not that expensive as well.
Not that expensive.
Lily's Classic. Number 2, Peter Pan.
Oh, Peter Pan. Yeah, it tastes nice too. It's like a very classic brand. It's not. It's an old brand. from
Old
the
brand,
US.
yes, old brand, yes. There's another one. Gosh, I forgot. I think it's from Best Foods, or I forgot the brand. But this is a variant of the original flavor. So if you see anything that has crunch, no, or whole peanuts inside, that's also okay. But remember, I forgot the brand. There's this one brand that also fulfills this criteria. But this brand has an original, and this is a variant with whole peanuts in. The one with whole peanuts, that variant is good. The original one is not. Yeah, I forgot the brand. It's like Best Food, or yeah, I forgot the brand. Yeah. So this is so far the 3 brands that I know of here in the Philippines that fulfills this criteria. So if you go to the supermarket, you might want to look into these brands.
I'm so surprised.
There's another one. There's another one.
Yeah.
It's actually in my cabinet. Let me get the jar.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's really nice because I've actually tried the Filipino brand Lily's, right? Or
Lily's,
Lily.
yeah, very
Yeah,
common.
it's
Yes.
nice. It's nice.
I'm
But
waiting for Doc Jansen to mention Skippy.
no, that's too
Yeah,
commercial.
it's Skippy's. It
It's
is
Skippy!
Skippy's. Yeah, Skippy's, but not the original flavor.
With the
Skippy's
crunch.
with the crunch. Yes, that's the
Yes.
one.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's the one.
Okay, I'm so
Mm,
glad because I always love the extra crunchy one. I don't like smooth peanut butter. I like the crunch. All right, Chris. Oh, so that's good then.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah, this is the one that I have. Timmy's peanut butter. So this is also good.
Oh, Timmy's. I've never seen that.
Timmy's.
Oh, okay. All right.
This one. That's also good.
Okay.
So what are the if you buy a peanut butter, if the peanut butter has an oil
Mm.
on, yeah,
It's
that
good.
is the one that is minimally processed.
Yes,
That's good.
that's good.
Don't be scared of it. That's the
Yeah,
one that is actually healthy. The one that
yeah.
is full, that is cream all over.
No.
That's the one that they add a lot of shortenings.
Oh, stabilizers, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm
All right.
gonna put this back.
Thank you,
Yeah, so
Doc.
that's right. Real peanut butter, the oil will separate from the peanut if it's standing on the shelf for some time. You do have to put some effort to actually stir the oil back in. All right. So yeah, so that's it.
Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you,
I think
Doc.
that was
Very helpful.
a very interesting sidetrack. Very good one because I love peanut butter. I'm so glad now. I love the brand Peter Pan. It's not easy to find. It's easier to find Jhen and
Mm.
Yes,
but it,
SNR. I think SNR has one.
when I
SNR.
first came to Philippines, it was easier to find Peter Pan. But now it's harder to find. So maybe yeah. But anyway, I'll look out for it, and if I see, I'll buy more lang.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Just a reminder, this is not a paid sponsorship program. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
these
a
are just our personal
recommendation.
preferences.
If the distributor of Peter Pan is watching, please send me and Doc Johnson a carton of Peter Pan crunchy peanut butter. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc. All right. So for our question, next question coming from Ms. Jenilyn Pascual.
Wait.
Doc, how about...
I just want to say something because Dennis Sayo was crying, goodbye sugar and red meat.
Oh.
And he says, I thought peanut butter is bad, but she's so happy. Good to know. Pwede. Okay, even though peanut butter, the right brands are healthy and okay for you to eat, please do not go overboard, right? Don't 6 scoops of peanut butter. Okay, so for cancer patients, always remember the stuff that tastes very good, take it in not just moderation, take it in mild moderation. All right, usually whatever tastes good is probably not so healthy for you. Okay, but at least it's okay to take, and you can find enjoyment in your life, right? Okay, thank you. Sheila, please continue.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc. Next question coming from Ms. Jenilyn Pascual. Doc, how about me? I'm scleroderma with ILD. Do we need to lessen the sugar intake? Thanks for talking about sugar.
Of course. It's the answer is gonna be almost always yes. No, this is not just for patients who have scleroderma or similar conditions, no autoimmune conditions. It's also for everybody else. No, try to limit sugar intake. Try to as much as you can increase fiber intake. No, and if ever you're gonna eat sugar, always eat them with a big meal, with big meals. Okay, so that its absorption would not be quite fast. Okay, so this is to prevent insulin spikes. No, the insulin spikes are the ones that causes inflammation. That increases your chances of going into diabetes. So this is the culprit. Okay, this is also the one that makes you gain weight because insulin, if your body produces very high amounts of insulin repeatedly, it forms tissues. It's an anabolic hormone. So when we say anabolic, this is the process of metabolism that forms larger molecules. That includes fat. Okay? So insulin spikes can make you gain weight. It can make you form more fats. So that's the key there. Okay.
Thank you, Doc Jansen. Okay, I just want to read a comment coming from Miss Liz Alemango. Thank you very much and smile. Noted po, recently just purchased the Cleansing Plus because I get constipated and it really works. My chemo meds are doxorubicin, Bricin, and Cyto. I think Cytoxan or something. I think taking PPARs really boosts condition because I can still go to school. She's a public school teacher. After a week of rest, thank you, PPARs. Thank you all. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that testimony. It's an encouragement to all of us here.
Yes, start of year. Thank you so much. Okay, another question very quickly, coming from Miss Christine. Which is better, brown rice or red rice?
This is a good one. It's been a long time since someone asked us about this.
Depends on the condition of the patient. Also depends on what you're measuring. If you're trying to measure antioxidant content, then it's red rice. If you just want the fiber, it's both. If that with taste, depends on your preference. Some say red rice is more delicious. Some prefer brown. Some prefer both. Some none of them. Tastes like eating paper. But yeah, for cancer patients, no, I always recommend red rice because it has the better profile against cancer. So this recommendation, I based it on a laboratory study. This laboratory study it's an in vitro study, no? So it's a study done outside of the human body. So they drip extracts of red rice, brown and black, and red rice came out on top. So that's what I recommend. Now when we eat them, it's a different it's different, no? So when I was, making the decision of which to recommend, I chose red rice because I mean you're gonna eat anyway and we want high fiber. So I know it is the evidence that we have is quite weak because the test was done outside of the human body, but we know that it is more effective against cancer than the other rice ingredients. So I made that recommendation, red instead of black and brown. Okay. The one that came second was black. Then the last was brown.
Very helpful. I always thought either brown or rice would suffice, but now there's specific distinction for that. Thank you, Doc. All right. Another question. This was thrown to us by our viewer in our YouTube. Question is coming from Miss Audit Jimenez. Question is, may I ask, can PPARs cure the wounds caused by biopsy on my breast because it expands?
When we're talking about cure, we cannot say that, especially for those kinds of procedures. I have to see the wound first, but definitely we can use PPARs to make the healing faster. But it's gonna be more than that. I need to know your history as well. If you just had the biopsy but you did not have the tumor removed for a very long time, then that could be the expected outcome. I don't know what you have, but that's so far that's what I have seen for my other patients. So there are patients who just went for the biopsy but did not go for the surgery. Almost always have a bad wound healing. Okay, so for those who are watching out there, okay, if you will undergo a biopsy, you have to undergo the surgery as soon as you can. Okay,
If
as
it
soon as
turns
you
out
can.
to be malignant, right? If it turns
Malignant,
out,
yes.
yeah. So don't delay lang. So it's like don't do something and then afterwards be hesitant about it. So before you do a biopsy, ask your doctor what's going to happen, right? If it's positive, what's the next step? So you already get ready for it because you are now opening up a wound, as Dr. Jansen says. Don't move to the next step quickly. You know, Doc, I just want to say that this is so important because I shared my story about a friend of mine from Taiwan. You know, he just after he did his initial his biopsy or something, and it turned out he was just hesitating. He was just thinking, I don't know. I guess it's normal for people to hope that maybe things will change, right? So he just waited 1 or 2 months, and he totally became a skeleton. His was pancreatic cancer, if I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly, or was it liver? One of the two. All right, and it was just terrible. He looked like a living skeleton, a very short time. So to the viewer who brought this up, you know, please take Dr. Jansen's advice. Okay, and for everyone else as well. Find out before you go for a biopsy, find out what's next. If it's positive, what's next? If it's negative, what's next? And when the result comes out, you know, don't hesitate, move to the next step. All right. So basically, you make your decision before. You know, Dr. Jansen, this is the case for me and my mom. My mom had vertigo, so went for a lot of treatment. Then they realized might be fluid built up at the back of her brain here, right? So they did a few tests. It was not totally conclusive. My cousin is one of the top thoracic surgeons in Singapore, so he was able to link us up with the person who operated on Lee Kuan Yew's wife. That's how good is the best neurosurgeon in Singapore. So when we met the neurosurgeon, right, he gave us a final diagnosis that it is the fluid buildup. And we asked him certain questions. Before that, we already asked, if it is, what are we going to do? If it's not, what are we going to do? He said that if it is, you know, he said, given time, it will definitely lead to dementia. He said there's only one cause of dementia that can actually be corrected, right? He said if your mom lives long enough, the fluid buildup will definitely develop dementia. So the moment we confirmed it was fluid buildup, my mom didn't want to, but all three of us looked at her and said, "Mom, dementia." Then she said, "Okay." So she actually went for the shunt. So it was a successful operation. They put a shunt from there, and then I think they drained the fluid into her stomach. And it's amazing. They can now control the valve with a machine. So they don't, if they want to control the flow, they don't even have to open the wound again. They can like remote control the aperture. It's really wonderful. So yeah, so it's like to all of viewers out there, once you're going for a diagnosis, right? Do have a plan. What are you gonna do if it's positive? What are you gonna do if it's negative? Already discuss and think through it, even as you're going for the diagnostic procedure. And once you have it, be resolute, stick to your original plan, and go forward. All right? I hope that helps. And that happened to my family as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Shyan. And of course, the time consideration also. Forever is not an option. Okay, all right. I guess this will be our last question for today. It's aligned to the case that you've mentioned because the question of Ms. Ramos is, can PPARs treat migraine?
Yeah, there are a lot of cases where we saw improvements. So the answer is yes, definitely. Migraines almost always is a cause of toxins. So PPARs would be able to help your body detoxify, pull out the heavy metals inside your body. So yeah, definitely it can help treat migraines, help lessen the frequency, the intensity of migraines.
And Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, but even cleansing plus could be helpful for migraines also, because some people have migraines because of constipation, toxicity build, right? So if you are constipated and have migraines, your solution is actually to go to the CR. So you might need some help with that. So the fiber intake could be one solution for migraines. That is the case for my sister-in-law, my elder sister-in-law. She goes to the CR only once a week. So of course, there's a lot of buildup of toxicity in her body. Once she took the cleansing, her migraines actually gradually just went away, right? As soon as she became regular.
Thank you, Sir Shyan.
That was the
Thank
last
you.
question.
Yes, that is actually our last question for tonight. So, of course, before we say goodbye to our viewers, I just want to ask for your quick parting words for them. This is our first episode of the year, and we are, of course, assisting and encouraging our cancer patients, most especially those who are newly diagnosed. Who would like to start first? Dr.
Yeah,
Jansen?
Doc, why don't you go first?
Yeah. I just want to greet a happy new year to all of you. So with 2025, this is the start of a new year, and all of us are expecting very good news, no? That would be coming to us, no? So I just want to wish good luck to each and every one of us, a prosperous new year, and a hopeful one, I guess, no? So yeah, if you are someone who needs help, please make the decision immediately, because my schedule is filling up already. It's still January 2, but it's filling up. Up yeah, up to next week, no? So yeah, message either Beth or Irish immediately, so they can set you up an appointment, and so we can start your treatment plan as soon as we can. Yeah.
Like I said, with Dr. Jansen, wishing everybody a happy new year and a hopeful one. You know, it's a new beginning. So all the challenges of 2024, let's just put them behind us. A new beginning, a new approach, a new chance at whatever challenges you want to overcome. And yeah, so with that, I look forward to many more programs with you. We are here every Thursday live to answer your questions. In the last 4 years, we have only taken one break, which is last week. Okay, so hopefully in 2025, we maybe we'll do that. Once a year, we'll take 1 week off, Christmas week off. All right, but if not, we are definitely like what we like to say in Simply Nature, we are really here with you from start to healing. So I'll hand the time back over to Sheila. And once again, thank you, everyone. Looking forward to all the programs we're going to have in 2025. Thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoyed the very first live cast for this program this year. See you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Shyan. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. I believe that we are starting off this year really, really right, having you both answering our questions for tonight. And of course, looking forward for the both of you to answer more questions this year coming from our viewers. Now, at this point, I'd like to invite everybody for our next webinar that is happening on January 9, also at 7:30 p.m. The title of our webinar is The Role of SimplyNature PPARs on Fighting Tumors. Understand the different types of tumors and proper treatment. There you go. And of course, once again, I'd like to say thank you for joining us tonight. We are so excited to announce that SimplyNature PPARs are trusted healthcare solution. Okay, because during this time we have this ongoing Lazada 1 mega sale. This is the best time to try PPARs with the sale running until January 5, 2025. So don't miss out. Check our participating Simply Nature products with amazing discounts. Take control of your health and invest in natural and science-backed solutions today. Stay healthy, and as always, here in Simply Nature, before that, okay, I just want to say once again, thank you and Happy New Year to everybody. Let us continue to empower our patients with the knowledge and take proactive steps towards better health and healing protocols. Here in Simply Nature, we remain committed with our mission to be always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year, and God bless you all.